More about hypothetical questions. One of the reasons I love using hypothetical questions for job interviews is that they're not based on previous experience that can be biased against applicants who might not yet have encountered the specific scenario. Tell me about a time when your project management skills saved the day. Someone might not be familiar with the formal concepts of project management, but have the underlying knowledge, skills, and abilities to do the work. Test them on that. Tell me about a time questions can also include industry jargon or terminology that's a barrier for people who've not yet encountered it. Let's pause for a moment here. See if you can think of 5 pieces of industry jargon or terminology that get tossed around in interviews that might be barriers for otherwise amazing candidates. Another one of the reasons I really like hypothetical questions is that they can be used for professional development conversations with staff who are looking to transfer teams or be promoted within their current one. Because they're based on the KSAs required for the role, I can draw on those questions outside of the interview process as a way to demonstrate the real-life KSAs they might need to develop for that specific opportunity. Often, this leads to pairing with specific professional development skill development to better prepare them for it if and when they make that switch. A practical note about hypothetical questions. They usually take more time in the interview process. There are a few reasons for this. The first is that you need to set up the situation in a way that people understand what you're asking. This often includes more context about the scenario. The second is that it's likely not possible to use a stock answer, so the candidate will probably need to think through this a bit or think aloud before answering. And related, third, it's likely that the candidate will have a few clarifying questions before digging into the scenario. These clarifying questions often afford you a glimpse into how the candidate will perform if they're in the role. Although, grain of salt on this one, it's a job interview, and most people are at least a little nervous, so they won't act exactly like they would when a job is hanging in the balance. One of the other reasons I really love hypothetical questions? They help to begin building trust between team members. As the candidate is working through their answer, you can get a sense for how far they'll take something before asking for help. How many and what kind of questions they might have at the start of a project or task. Trust is an important component in any workplace and team, but particularly important in entirely virtual workplaces. A topic for another course, but especially in entirely virtual workplaces, trust and communication is bedrock to healthy and high-performing teams.